So I want you to imagine that you have just been hired by DC Comics to write a Green Lantern book. Aren't you excited? You love Green Lantern, you're a fan of Green Lantern. It's a wonderful day. You've been waiting for this moment your entire life. There is a new Green Lantern writer by the name of Jeffrey Thorne. Oh my god, this website's full of pop-ups. So let's say you're Jeffrey Thorne, the new writer of Green Lantern. Or at least a Green Lantern book. I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest. He wrote the John Stewart Green Lantern Corps story in Future State Green Lantern, and will be writing the new ongoing Green Lantern series featuring John Stewart. Okay, but when we think Green Lantern, typically we think of Hal Jordan. And Thorne has some interesting opinions on Hal Jordan for a Green Lantern writer. Hal Jordan is and always has been a worthless cardboard cutout. John Stewart should be the Green Lantern. Okay, well, he likes John Stewart over Hal Jordan, that's fine. If it's not John Stewart is the Green Lantern, no lessons were learned about, I think, if these pop-ups would stop showing up about a new Green Lantern Corps movie. Alright, so he likes John Stewart. Every time DC Movies, I have to yell because it's in all caps, DC Movies present a Green Lantern that isn't John Stewart, they fail at diversity and at commerce. Hashtag money on the table idiots. Oh. One person says to him, Hal Jordan is the Peter Parker of the DCU, which he replies, oh please, Peter Parker is a supermodel dating an astronaut compared to Hal Jordan. What does that even mean? Worst hero, Hal Jordan. He's no better than a piece of cardboard with a Hal Jordan face painted on it. I'm starting to get the feeling that this isn't just about liking John Stewart and liking John Stewart over Hal Jordan. This is about going all in on the hatred of Hal Jordan. Hal is literally the least interesting GL in the history of the title, and I'm including Alan Scott. Someone please explain to me why we dumped John Stewart for cardboard Hal Jordan again, because I'm just not processing it at this moment. Honestly, I'm dead sick of Cyborg, being shoved at me because someone didn't want to leave John Stewart in place. Hal Jordan is worthless. John Stewart is the only Green Lantern most human beings had ever heard of until he was erased to put Hal back in the box. Warner could have had all the Black Panther love Marvel currently owns, but for that error. Then someone says the same thing about Superman, and then he replies, Sir, I know Superman. I've read Superman my whole life. Sir, Hal Jordan is no Superman. The only interesting thing Hal Jordan did in his entire career was become Parallax. Oh. Literally the only thing H. Hal Jordan ever did that could be described as interesting or him having a character was to become Parallax. Hal Jordan was always Cardboard Joe. He'll never be cool. Being Parallax was the best thing that ever happened to him. Remember when Hal Jordan went bad and was Parallax and he was actually Parallax, not some alien parasite? Good times. Becoming Parallax was the best and only interesting thing Hal Jordan did in his entire career. Okay, we get it. Okay. You're tweeting the same exact thing over and over now. Then they're talking about a new Green Lantern show, and he replies, if Hal Jordan is present, I will not watch the show. This isn't even about John Stewart. John Stewart could be the main character of this Green Lantern show, but if Hal Jordan appears, nuh-uh. I mean, I'm not a hate watch type of person. I give every show a chance, except those that include Hal Jordan. I joke about hating Gambit because it's fun. I actually hate Hal Jordan. And then he says who Jeff Johns likes isn't relevant. Okay, he just goes on and on. I get the distinct feeling that DC has hired someone who doesn't like Green Lantern to write a Green Lantern book. And that's just magnifique. But I thought I'd take the time. I'm a Green Lantern fan. Believe it or not, I am a Hal Jordan fan. I don't talk about it most of the time, but I think Hal Jordan might be my second favorite DC character after Batman. But I'm saying, hey, if you can write for DC while actively boycotting the material they produce, and hate the character that sort of grew the franchise you are now writing as a part of this legacy, why can't I just tell you my 100% definitive top 10, I'm not sure if there are 10 on the list, top 10 Green Lanterns. There might be more than 10. There might be less than 10. I might have just scammed you. Now these are only including Green Lanterns that are humans, and were like Green Lanterns for a significant period of time. Nobody cares about Tomar Ray. I'm sorry I have to break it to you, Tomar Ray fans. Nobody cares about Tomar Ray. Nobody cares about Kilowog. Nobody cares about Badge. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. No one cares about that one virus Green Lantern. Until it's too late. This also isn't going to include, like, I know that relatively recently there was a character that used one of the Green Lantern Power Gauntlets on a Teen Titans book. This isn't going to include characters like that because I just haven't read them. So these are the top, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Top 7 Green Lanterns. Starting from the bottom now, we hear number 7, we have Guy Gardner. I think that's self-explanatory. I don't like Guy Gardner. He's angry, he's rude. Batman punched him out and it was cool. And ultimately, I think the reason I hate Guy Gardner the most is because he's Irish. Number 6, Kyle Rayner. Kyle Rayner is overrated. Kyle Rayner, let me tell you, can I level with you for a moment? Kyle Rayner is overrated. He popped up in the 90s and it was like, whoa, I'm a new hip millennial, except the millennials aren't this age yet. I paint, so all my constructions are beautiful paintings, because we know every artist that drew Hal Jordan books were lame and only drew squares coming out of his ring. I'm a bit bitter that I read Jeff Johns' run on Green Lantern, and you know, he weaved this beautiful romance between Hal Jordan and Carol Ferris. Then, like, the moment he leaves the book, the next writer picks up the book and is like, I really like Kyle Rayner. I'm going to make Kyle Rayner start dating Carol Ferris. And it's like, okay, way to ruin that character thread that I liked from the Jeff Johns run. And the thing everyone knows Kyle Rayner for is boo-hoo-hoo, his girlfriend got chopped up and put into a refrigerator. Fool, we all have girlfriends who have been chopped up and in the refrigerator. I have a girlfriend who's chopped up and in my refrigerator right now. Should probably get that looked at. Should probably call the police, all things considered. Coming up next is Alan Scott. Now, Alan Scott, when was the last time you read a good story starring Alan Scott? Alan Scott is there. His entire role in the DC universe right now is to stand there in his Green Lantern uniform and make all the different comic news websites go, oh my god, the Justice Society is coming back. The Justice Society is coming back, baby. And that's all Alan Scott does. Same for Jay Garrick, although at least Jay Garrick played a small role in, like, The Button, I think. Alan Scott has just become the poster child for the JSA and really the poster child for the pre-New 52 continuity. Now, of course, there is New 52 Earth 2 Alan Scott, but that really is its own different character. So what I'm trying to say here is Alan Scott is like the water of Green Lanterns. Like, yeah, he's there. I'm putting him on this list just to differentiate the bad Green Lanterns from the good ones. So I think Kyle Rayner and Guy Gardner are bad. Number, what is it? 1, 2, 3. I didn't number these. That's my fatal flaw. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 4, Jessica Cruz. It's like, oh, ooh woo, she's so cute. She has social anxiety. And haha, I'm a millennial, I'm a Gen Z, I'm a Zoomer, I'm reading Justice League by Jeff Johns in the year of our Lord 2015 or 2016 or 2017 or whatever. Whenever Darkseid War came out. I'm probably wrong, it might have come out like 2018 and I just missed it. No, I think Rebirth was 2016. Darkseid War came out during a year. I think actually Jessica Cruz showed up in Forever Evil. You know what, never mind. Who's Jessica Cruz? But I liked Jessica Cruz when she showed up. She was a unique social anxiety character, and it wasn't overdone. And I'm like, you know what? I relate to this character. I like this character. I, too, am a Hispanic woman of color. That's what I got out of it. Unfortunately, Jessica Cruz hasn't really done much. She went on to become like a character in the Justice League books insofar as she still had social anxiety and had to have Batman and Flash help her. Yeah, way to help your social anxiety. Get Batman on the case. You know, you're gonna turn around on a rooftop and you're gonna see this dude dressed as a bat standing in the shadows behind you. He's like, don't be scared. And like, you're purposely designed to look scary, man. I don't know how to tell you this. But I guess she also co-starred in the Green Lantern's book, but nobody cared. Speaking of starring in the Green Lantern's book, and speaking of being Jeff Johns' original Green Lantern characters that were pretty cool when they showed up and then didn't do anything worth noting afterwards, number 3, Simon Baz. Simon Baz is a a hippity hip hop, a don't stop. Did I just disconnect my mic? Please don't disconnect my mic. Simon Baz is a Syrian, you know, I think he was a refugee, or a descent from refugee parents or something, from Dearborn, Michigan. And he's Muslim and he has a tattoo despite that being haram in Islam. He actually had a pretty cool debut where he was driving a truck with a bomb in it, and he's like, this isn't what it looks like, man. This isn't what it looks like. I know you're seeing a Syrian driving a car with an explosive in it with the police chasing it, but this is not what it looks like. He gets waterboarded by like the FBI or something, but ultimately he gets the Green Lantern ring, and his first arc is very good, very top-notch Jeff Johns stuff. Gets a little bit weird though when he uses the Green Lantern ring to like bring someone back to life or something, or like cure cancer. I don't remember what it was exactly, but it was not something traditionally you'd think a Green Lantern ring can do. He also carries a gun with him, which is new. And I think Sinestro, there was something where he lost his ring, but then he just shot at the person who was attacking him. He was like, that's why I carry the gun. It's like, fair. Number 2, John Stewart. John Stewart, aka the Black One. John Stewart was the Green Lantern I knew growing up. He was the Green Lantern I was introduced to in Justice League Unlimited, and he was a pretty cool character. He had an interesting character arc with Shiera Hall, you know, this whole thing about loyalty and stuff like that. He's a former Marine, he's strong, he's willing to make the tough decisions when no one else can. And I also like him because he's a very flawed character. Kyle Rayner, what's his fatal flaw? He can't get over the fact that his girlfriend got chopped up and put into a refrigerator, despite, like I just said, everyone has had their girlfriend chopped up and put into their refrigerator. What's Hal Jordan's fatal flaw? He's sad that his dad died in a plane crash, and then we get Parallax, but we'll get there. What's Guy Gardner's fatal flaw? He's Irish. But John Stewart keeps getting into the situation where he accidentally is responsible for everyone dying. Most notably in Cosmic Odyssey, he charges in to destroy this dude who had made this device that will destroy this certain planet he's supposed to protect. He goes in without a plan and just finds that the dude's smugly standing there with his machine that's going to destroy the planet, and John can't do anything because the dude painted the machine yellow. Which, if you remember, yellow was somehow the weakness to a Green Lantern ring. Superman gets kryptonite, irradiated space rock. Green Lanterns get killed in highlighter factories. Green Lanterns see SpongeBob SquarePants and cry. God forbid a Green Lantern goes up against Reverse Flash or something. So he's responsible for a planet dying. One of my favorite Green Lantern stories is an arc in Green Lantern Corps where there's a Green Lantern who gets arrested by, I think it's the Alpha Lanterns or some other enemy to the Green Lanterns, but it's like John Stewart and his pal Alien Green Lantern, and they're both like, you know, really cool, they're friends with each other's families, and then they get captured, and then John Stewart realizes that his friend is about to tell like Green Lantern secrets under torture, and like before he can do it, he reaches over and snaps his friend's neck, and then like he has to tell his family about, yeah, I killed your son, my friend, GG, no re. Jon Stewart is a very flawed character, and I think that is like one of his major strengths as a Green Lantern character. But of course, number one, I don't know why I'm checking my phone, there's only one left, and the camera just died, so let's wrap this up. But Hal Jordan is my favorite Green Lantern. Hal Jordan is the pinnacle of the sort of revamp that Green Lantern went through when we realized that Alan Scott really wasn't going to work in the end. Hal Jordan has gotten enough characterization, especially through the works of Geoff Johns, to make him not only a very well-developed character in the Green Lantern mythos, but in the entire DC universe as well. Geoff Johns' Green Lantern run remains to be one of my favorite comic stories of all time. In the beginning, Green Lantern was pretty cut and dry, although they did this weird thing with him in the 70s where they make him they do this thing with Green Lantern and Green Arrow where it's supposed to represent a leftist and a rightist going through America, going on a road trip to find the real America. But instead of being a leftist and a rightist giving their own ideas, it's leftist Green Arrow who points out everything as racism, and Hal Jordan is just a normal person who just doesn't think of like, oh, the number of black people I'm saving isn't enough. You know, he doesn't think about that stuff. So he ends up just being looked at through the lens of the comic as an accidental racist, which is a really great position to put your character in. He did go through the whole Parallax arc, but then he came back from that, and I feel that Geoff Johns' rebirth of Green Lantern, you know, when you say Green Lantern, I think of Hal Jordan. When Geoff Johns gave Green Lantern a rebirth, and then like made him one of the best characters in the DC universe. I will grant you that sometimes he's a bit inconsistent. Sometimes he's a, yes sir, I am an intergalactic police officer and I do things by the book. And sometimes he's like, he's just cracking jokes left and right, doesn't like to follow things by the book. It really depends on what book he's in as to how well he follows the book. Justice League, he tends to be cracking jokes, especially in Geoff Johns' Green Lantern books. But if he's ever in the position where he has to be a teacher, then usually he might tone it down a little. He's also white, and I am part white, so I can relate to a white character more. And you know, it's important, there aren't that many white Green Lanterns. There's Hal Jordan, there's Alan Scott, but who cares about Alan Scott? And then there's Kyle Rayner, aka Boo-hoo-hoo, my girlfriend is in the refrigerator. Like I said, I have a girlfriend stuck in pieces in the refrigerator. Now someone might say, Radix, what about Guy Gardner? And to which I have to say, Guy Gardner is Irish. Okay, that concludes my objectively true ranking of the Green Lantern characters. Do you disagree with me? Must suck to be wrong, doesn't it? Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. What do you think about this setup? What do you think about the new Commander Radix look? I'm thinking about making this the default from now on, but we'll see how this goes. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you have not yet. Did you know that 100% of you watching have not subscribed to this channel before? Do it. It's free. You can always unsubscribe later if you don't like what you see. Follow me on all the social media links down in the description. And yeah. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. Why do I sound Russian when I'm doing the Italian gesture?